Hi, today is February 3rd, 2022, and I'm going to talk to you today about the planets Pluto and the planet Saturn. I'm going to talk about the contrast between those planets. As far as the current planetary positions, nothing has really changed dramatically. The moon has moved past Jupiter further into Pisces, and we can expect the moon to finish the sign of Pisces over the next couple days. So I want to talk about Pluto and Saturn, and as far as Pluto is concerned, it is a very dramatic influence on people's lives. Pluto is associated with significant and profound transformation. And wherever you see it in your chart, or wherever you see it transiting your chart, or both places, it's going to be an indicative of major change, major revelations, major transformation, deep understandings, deep revelations. I think I said that already. And it's not something that you can avoid. It's something that comes to you to show you what it's all about, being alive and human and living on this earth with other people. Saturn is a different kind of teacher. Saturn only takes 28, 29, 30 years approximately to go around the zodiac. Pluto takes over 100 years, most of the time. So you never get a full revolution of Pluto around your chart. It only goes through maybe 6 or 7 houses after you're born. Saturn, on the other hand, goes through a house or a sign every couple years or 3 years or so. You have to look it up in the ephemeris to see exactly where Saturn always is. And the ephemeris, that's Ephemeris, is a book that shows where all the planets are. And so Saturn is like a teacher that is with you your whole life. And the lessons that you learn pertain to the house that Saturn is in when you're born, and continues to go through your chart into the next house and the next house. And each house has something to do with specific things different from the other houses, although there are some similarities, but not many really. I mean, it all can be related. And that's one of the things astrologers do, is integrate the picture, so that you can make sense out of what's happening. And so I want to talk about the contrast, because the teachings are profound. I call Pluto the cosmic shovel, because Pluto is like this big shovel in the garden of your life. It digs things up, the dirt, the earth, whatever, and turns it over and exposes what's under there. What's in your garden, what's in the dirt, what's not easy to see, just if you're looking at the flowers, for example. The lessons that you learn from Pluto are life-changing, and they last your whole life, and they could have to do with anything and everything, and you will be profoundly changed from a Pluto transit, especially if it's exact on one of your other natal planets, or in another major aspect, or just the fact that it exists. And there was a controversy recently about Pluto not being a planet. Well, as far as astrologers are concerned, that doesn't really matter, because the people that invented or created the language of astrology thought Pluto was a planet, so that's good enough. And I mean, when it was discovered, it was long after astrology had been taught originally. But the influences of planets is a matter of dispute among people who study astrology and people who don't. So I prefer to think of astrology as a language, and the symbols mean something that I learned, and I use that to perceive other things and relationships that are happening. And whether Pluto is a planet or not is really not an issue, because I'm using it as one of the factors in my interpretations, based on my understanding of it and my teachings about it. Other astrologers, that are learning astrology now may learn something different or something else, and the important thing is that it's useful. So the planet Saturn, to go on, as I said, it only takes 28 years to go through the entire zodiac. 28, 29, 30 years, whatever. It's around that amount of time. So each time Saturn returns to where it was when you were born, exactly, it's called a Saturn return, and it's a significant time in your life. And I will talk about that in another video. But as far as contrasting the lessons of Saturn with Pluto, Saturn lessons definitely have to do with two particular things that you're dealing with: relationships and your career. When Saturn is teaching you stuff, it's always about those two issues. Typically. It can be about something else, depending on where it is in your chart, where it's transiting in your chart. But typically you look at the lessons that Saturn brings as, one, finding out what your limitations are, and two, overcoming those limitations, going beyond those limitations, using those limitations to gain insight and to grow and to keep on going down the road of life. And you don't feel like you're turning inside out, kind of, like you do with Pluto. What you feel is like you're in school and you are learning something that, if you try to avoid it, you turn around and the same lesson is right over there or over there. It's just a definite stepping stone in life that everyone, who interacts with Saturn has to go through. So everyone will experience all these influences from all these planets. And Saturn and Pluto are definitely the most, I'm looking for the right word here, transformative, revealing, life-changing. And the important thing that an astrologer can tell you is where Saturn was when you were born, and what the lessons were at the time of your birth. And then as Saturn in the sky moves through your chart, various different things happen, and an astrologer can help you understand what are the limitations, and that I'm dealing with, and how do I learn the most important stuff and the most helpful stuff from this. So if you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will answer it as soon as I can. So thank you.